Gang, if I seem tired and uninterested, it's because I woke up a little over an hour ago. Boy, am I just exhausted. This weekend, surprisingly, huge socializing weekend. Went and saw Five Nights at Freddy's 2, which I want to make a video about for the main channel at some point. I also should make a video about the first one too. I need to do that. I need to write that down somewhere so I don't forget. And watch, I'm not gonna write any of that down, and I'm going to forget. Anyway, it's time for the end of the year update video. I don't have a whole lot for you, but I guess the main things that I wanted to get out of the way early is that as far as like RPGs go, in any game that's longer than like 12 hours long to play and beat, I think I'm gonna relegate those kinds of games to streams. The simple fact of the matter is, and I know this is just like, it's such a nitpicky little thing, I hate editing hour-long videos. I hate it so much. I record in hour-long chunks. It's usually like 20 to 30 minute videos back to back. That's what my typical recording sessions are. And then for RPGs and stuff, again, because I give myself that like kind of hour-long limit, that I could only do one episode, and then I have to then edit those episodes, and it takes so long, and it's so annoying to do. The reason I don't do longer recording sessions is because the camera that I use, this fucking old, I've had this thing for almost 10 years. It's a Sony Handycam, okay? I use that for my face cam footage because DSLRs can only record in 30-minute chunks, otherwise they get taxed as camcorders, as video cameras, and not DSLRs. And I don't have the right kind of camera or the right kind of setup to set it up to where that can just be my webcam like all the big YouTubers do, like your Jacksepticeye's, like your Markipliers, like your Valkyrays. I just don't have that set up, and I don't have the right kind of camera, and it's just, I could maybe use my old phone that I'm using to record this, but I'm worried about storage limit because I don't have anything on this phone really at all, but still half the storage space is taken up by fucking iOS. So who knows? Maybe that's a transition I can make someday, but I'm not counting on it. The reason I don't record for much longer than like an hour or an hour and a half sometimes is because when I convert the footage from the Handycam using Play Memories Home, which is a software Sony doesn't even update anymore, when I convert it, it converts to a fucking proprietary format because Sony sucks. Because Sony wants to have a proprietary everything, and they've always been like this. Remember the memory sticks for the PSP? But yeah, that specific file format, I think it's like a .mts file. It works fine for the most part in DaVinci Resolve, but if you go any longer than like an hour and a half, 2 hours, for some reason DaVinci Resolve can just not read that file eventually, and it'll say media offline. That means I have to take the .mts, try to export that just by itself as a .mp4, and then re-import it into the project, and then re-edit the whole video. I had to do that with Chain Together last year, and it was just such a hassle, and I don't want to fucking deal with it. And the reason I don't just record my face cam footage like this, like baked into the recording of the game, is because it's passable for like live streaming. It's not passable for YouTube video, I think. I don't know how people get their Logitech webcams to look good. This is as good as I could get this with sufficient enough lighting, because if I turn my light on, the screen starts flickering, and if I try to switch between the 50 Hertz and the 60 Hertz screen flickering modes in the webcam settings itself, it doesn't fucking work. How do you guys get your webcams to look good? I don't get it. But also, I don't want to make a fucking 40-part series for a specific game. That's why, going forward, RPGs and anything that's gonna be longer than like 12 or 15 hours, I'm gonna stream it. So make sure you're following me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Shadowsense1. Really, that's all this update video is about, is that like longer games and RPGs and stuff are gonna be over there. I don't know what I'm gonna do for games like Telltale's The Walking Dead, because I can't just do those in chunks like I was doing for Dispatch. I made like one video per episode for Dispatch. I don't know, I might do that. I'm trying to work it out as best as I can, so we'll just see what happens, but for the most part, I don't really see making hour-long videos super frequently in the new year, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong about a lot of things in breaking promises that I make here on these videos. So who knows? But I do just want to thank everybody for sticking around for another year. 2026 is going to be the 10-year anniversary of this channel, which is crazy to think about. And I don't want to think about that because I'm old now. I'm going to be 31 in like 3 weeks. That's just crazy to think about. Also, I'm going to do my typical winter break. There's going to be either no or scant uploads for the next like 2 weeks. I don't think I'm going to be posting again until January 5th. In the meantime, for the week of December 28th, I'm going to be streaming at points during that week. I'll post the schedule on my Blue Sky, my Instagram stories. I'm also going to post it on Threads and Facebook if you're still even using Facebook. All the links are in the link tree in the description, so make sure you check those out. Thank you guys so very much for another fantastic year, and I'll see ya in the next one. Peace out.